Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. We are still on the first weekend of the 7th month of the second year, just after defeating Edelgard, and we have enough supports that I figured I might as well just do them now rather than even advancing into anything else. So yeah, this will definitely be a full support episode.
Hey Petra, are you there?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't actually think you'd be here.
You think I am not here, but you were calling for me.
It seemed best to call out as soon as I arrived. I can never tell when you're here, and it would be good for my heart if you just dropped in from out of nowhere.
Except that's exactly what you did.
When I was arriving, I called out for Claude, too. I was thinking it would give me joy if you were here.
Is that a fact? I'm honored. Anyway, I see you beat me here today. Say, Petra, wouldn't it be great if, no matter how bad the war gets, at least this place stayed peaceful?
Yes, I think so. I like this tree. It gives me calmness.
I like this tree too. It feels like it's always welcoming and reliable.
But when the war has ended, I must be leaving this tree. I must be returning to Bridget. Claude, my grandfather has been saying I must find a husband of Fodlan.
Whoa, where did that come from? You sly minx, have you been searching for a suitor all this time?
If Fodlan and Bridget become bound by marriage, it will give my grandfather great joy.
Well, you are a princess, so it makes sense that you have obligations.
I am not having an obligation. I will only be marrying if I find a good person.
So, you just need to find a man who meets your expectations. That could be tricky.
No, I will be finding one. It will not be a problem.
Oh? And who's the lucky fellow?
It is my secret. I will not be telling him yet.
I see. Do you think he can give you the kind of future you deserve?
I am not knowing about the future. But my perfect husband could be him. And if he gives refusal, I will be tying him up and dragging him home.
Tie up? Well, I'm sure the lucky man will learn to accept his fate one way or another. Besides, I doubt any man would reject a proposal from a catch like you.
Careful. Well, I'm just gonna say you won't get the chance, Claude. Leave it at that. Alright.
Mercedes, I have heard that you are the daughter of imperial nobility. Is that the case?
It is.
And you have a crest as well. Is that not so?
Again, it is.
Why did you not tell me? I was under the impression you were a commoner.
I didn't mean to hide it from you, but you never asked. Besides, I am considered common now. I don't care to flaunt my noble past or my crest. I have no desire to return to that status.
Then, if I may speak hypothetically a moment, does that mean that if a nobleman were to offer you his hand in marriage, you would decline?
Not at all. That's a separate matter entirely. Even if I were to fall in love, regardless of their social status, I'm not looking to marry right now.
What a relief. Forgive my rudeness. I am merely envious of your flexible outlook. It is a posture that I might very well adopt. Not to say that I hang upon your every word, of course.
You mean in terms of love and marriage?
Precisely. Status should be no impediment to love.
But if you marry a woman who isn't a noble, then haven't you neglected your duty?
Not exactly, no. What I said was that my marriage must benefit House Gloucester. So long as that holds true, the bloodline of my partner is actually irrelevant. For instance, if she bore a crest and was at one time considered noble...
Well, now that doesn't sound flexible at all. How can you know if someone will benefit your family? Would you investigate her before allowing yourself feelings? That doesn't sound very noble of you.
That is not what I...
I'm sorry, Lawrence. I was only teasing. I'm sure your lack of tact is what women find...
Come again?
Oh, nothing. nothing at all. I hope you do your family proud and fulfill your duty.
Yes, I most certainly will.
Man, Mercedes is like the last person I expect to dunk on people, so when she does it, it's so great. Also, people hardly ever dunk on each other in their A supports. Oh man, that's... Good job, Mercedes. It wasn't quite as good as, like, I find myself growing irritated just looking at you, but it's pretty excellent.
Oh dear, I'm thirsty again. If only I had a drink.
I have some tea. You are welcome to drink some.
Oh dear, I forgot to get my...
I found it. Here it is.
What?
Oh dear, I didn't return my library book.
I returned your book a little while ago.
What?
Oh, thank you. Ferdinand, how did you get so good at doing things for me? It's like you know what I need before I do.
I have lots of practice fielding your requests.
That's true.
All I need to do is think for a bit, and I know what you need. I can practically read your mind.
Oh, you know what it's like in here, huh? Okay, tell me what I'm thinking about right now.
You want a snack.
Sorry, nice try. Actually, I was thinking I've become quite fond of you.
I suppose that is inevitable. I am rather fond of you as well. I find your laziness endearing.
Hey, the fond thing was just a joke. Really.
What?
I was thinking about tea. Kinda thirsty.
I admire you, Hilda.
You what?
I said I admire you. You are gifted and accomplished. I used to underestimate you.
I said I was kidding, didn't I? This is all a bit...
You feigned sloth to obscure the considerable breadth and depth of your talents. Such delicate discretion, such noble prudence. If only I could emulate it.
I've never been called prudent before, but I like hearing you say it. Thank you. You're good at giving compliments. In return for all your help, I promise that I'll keep being prudent.
I appreciate that. Shall we go?
Huh? Go where?
To get you some tea.
I thought you wanted some tea. The dining hall is the place for that.
Oh, Ferdinand, you're too kind.
And that's how it's done.
Hey, it's not the romance music.
Good to know. There are so many differences between bows and blades.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a quick learner, Leone, and quite a good teacher as well.
Must be Captain Gerald's influence.
God,
The
stop.
weather, the terrain, the enemy's feelings. You have to find ways to make it all work for you.
I agree. A warrior can't stick too closely to predefined tactics. That's quite shrewd. You're impressive for a girl.
Whoa,
For a
Felix.
girl, come on, you're past that. Looking down on your opponent is a great way to fall into a pit trap, isn't it?
I suppose that's true.
Glad you remember.
I still have much to learn. Not only about swordplay, but also about thinking on my feet. I hope to learn more from you, Leone.
Count on it. We'll come up with plenty of new ideas if we work together.
If we
Guess
work
that means we're
together.
partners, doesn't it?
We're what?
Partners. Friends who help each other improve.
Huh. Partners. That's not bad.
Not at all. Looking forward to working with you, partner.
Likewise, partner.
Amazing. Not romantic. Shocking, even.
Dorothea? You look as if
But now we
something's
do have the
terribly
romantic
wrong.
music.
I do? Oh, nothing's wrong. Not really. I've just been thinking about the future. And what happens when the war is over.
And tell me, what is your vision of the future like?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I don't know what to expect. In my life, I've met all sorts of people who've lived lots of different ways. So now I'm trying to figure out how I want to live. I'm free, unlike so many people. I have the ability to take control of my own fate. Like you.
Well, I quit the opera to join the Officers' Academy as a professor. Then I joined this war because, well, I don't know. I'm hoping for an end to it. Peace for the world. Even though I took control of my own fate, I still haven't found the man of my dreams.
You'll find him. He's out there somewhere. You know, there is one thing I want for the future.
So, you've got a dream after all.
Well, it's a dream I've always had. You'll think this is silly, but I'd like to stand beside you.
I don't get it.
When you left the opera company, I took your place. I stood center stage and sang, and everyone cheered for me. I wish the cheers were for me and you. I wish we stood on that stage together.
I have to tell you something. The first time I saw you on stage, I felt you were the one I wanted to hear sing. I already had plans to leave the opera company, but when I met you, I knew I couldn't leave until I saw you take your rightful place. You're right, though. It would have been nice to stand beside you on stage, even just once.
Maybe we weren't together then, but we're together here, now. And in the future, maybe it won't be so bad if you never find that man of your dreams.
What do you mean by that?
You and me. I won't find a guy either. We can just be together. I think that'd be pretty nice, don't you? Living together and doing whatever we want.
Huh. You know, that could be nice. It'd be like you and me, finally together on stage. The lights shining down, our gowns and jewels sparkling. Just us.
Sparkling in the stage lights forever.
Would be kind of cool is if they actually went and started like their own opera company or something. Oh. No romantic music.
I'm so sorry for always taking up your time, Professor Hanneman.
Nonsense. I told you to come to me anytime you needed help. Nothing to be sorry about at all. So, what can I help you with today, Miss Annette?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Perhaps not related to your studies, but I sense something else troubles you.
You see right through me, Professor Hanneman. Okay, here goes. The truth is, I've been wondering what I'll do when the war finally comes to an end.
Your marks at both the School of Sorcery and the Military Academy were exceptional.
You could become a professor.
Many, many options. The only trouble I see for you is in picking which one to chase.
You've hit the nail on the head. There's so much I want to do. I feel completely lost.
Lost, hmm? It seems to me that you're just lacking in decisiveness.
You think so?
Wait on. This is where punctuation matters. You're just lacking in space decisiveness versus you're just lacking in no space decisiveness, as in you're just lacking indecisiveness. Like the way that he said it, it sounded like it could have been either one.
For example, I've already been considering my own future once this war ends at last. I think I might leave Garrick Mach.
Whoa, wait, what?
I've spent a great deal of time researching crests, both in the Empire and at the monastery. Fodlan is large, with much to see and learn. It would be a shame to spend all my years in too few places.
But where will you go?
That's the question, isn't it? I've considered the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad. It would be good to get a new viewpoint on Crest research. There are certainly discoveries to be made. However, new places are daunting. Yet I'd have no complaints if I had a former student as an apprentice. Say, a former student who is brimming with curiosity, talented at magic, and as tidy as myself.
You don't mean me, do you?
He's offering to take her on as a grad student.
It all depends on your own feelings and interests.
I have considered that it might be nice to be a professor like you. But I'm such a scatterbrain, and I make mistakes all the time, so I'm not confident I can manage.
Those are but minor side notes compared to your wonderful qualities, Miss Annette. You are serious in your studies, and possessing of excellent character. You surpass even myself.
Do you really think so? Maybe I can do it after all.
I truly feel you could. Yes, you could accompany me to Ferdiad. I think that would be most splendid, don't you?
I feel like, with your guidance, I could excel anywhere.
First, though, we must put an end to this war. The future cannot begin until we achieve victory.
That's true. I'm gonna try my hardest to make sure that happens.
I know you will, Miss Annette. You have my full support.
I like this construct as like a paired ending thing, where it's like people can go do something together that isn't just like get married. Like literally, yeah, he's just like, I'm thinking of transferring to another school, but I want you to come with me and be a grad student there. Like, hey, yeah, that's legit. Yes, no romantic music.
Still contemplating, I see.
Without so much as a word, you've read me through and through. Since last we spoke, I've been thinking a lot about my future. How I want to spend my life. It's a lot to think about, and I haven't entirely sorted out where I'm going. I think I need more time to grow.
On the contrary, you have given this honest and sincere thought. I am quite impressed, actually.
You're impressed with me?
Worry about the future is not unique to youth. It is human nature. At the risk of being overbearing, might I offer you one more piece of advice?
Of course.
Have you considered what your life would be like had you not been born with a crest?
Do
you suppose that you would have been ordinary? Insignificant? I do not think so. Even without a crest, such a promising young lady as yourself would have a bright future ahead of her.
Seth, I
am not typically inclined to flattery, so I hope you will take my words to heart. Have faith in yourself. If you trade that faith for a misplaced pride in your crest, I will have to reassess your character.
I've no intention of doing such a thing. It will take me time and experience, but I will find my path and walk it proudly.
I am glad to hear it, Ingrid.
Well, that was pretty much the same thing he said to her before, I feel like. Not a lot of added information.
Did Cyril fall asleep here again? There's nothing to cover him with. He'll catch cold if he's here too long.
In the library?
Oh well, I guess I have no other options. I'll have to take care of this myself.
Ah! What's happening?
I'm keeping you warm so you don't catch cold. I'm sorry. Did I make you uncomfortable?
I was just surprised. Thanks, Mercy.
Oh, I'm happy to hear you call me that. You know, I seem to find you in here pretty often. Do you have a favorite book?
It's a picture book.
but it's always real quiet here, so it's where I like to sleep.
I see. You always seem so wrapped up in your work. That is, whenever you're not sleeping in the library. Do you have many friends here?
No, not really.
But don't you want some? Having friends is much more fun than spending all of your time alone.
Nah, I don't want people treating me like an outsider. I'm better off alone.
I mean...
An outsider?
Wait.
You? Who would possibly say?
If you're... Okay, hold on. I don't want people treating me like an outsider. I'm better off alone. Like, maybe what he means is they will treat me like an outsider either way, so if I'm not around them, then I won't have to experience it. But like, being a loner is more likely to get people to view you as an outsider than if you interact with them.
Oh, so you don't think anyone thinks that? Should I tell you what happened to me before I came here?
Oh no, you really don't have to. I didn't mean to bring up such difficult memories. But you know, everyone here sees you as a friend. Even me. I see you as a good friend.
Mercy, I'm sorry. I sure like everyone here too, but it feels like you're, I don't know. It sounds weird maybe, but I think you're something different than a friend.
Different? In what way? Do you not like me?
No, it's not that.
I like your voice.
You know how sometimes you can't explain things? This is that. If I had a sister, I think that might be how it feels being around you.
Really? That's just as well. You remind me of my little brother.
Yeah, you look just like the Death Knight.
I do, but I haven't seen him in so long. It's almost like he's not really my brother anymore. But you can count on me if you need anything at all. I'll do my best to help you out.
I can count on you for anything? Wow.
I can't express enough how grateful I am for your help with my daughter. She was over the moon about the gift you chose.
Oh, wonderful. I would have expected no less after the effort I put into finding the perfect gift.
I even received a thank you letter from her. Would you care to read it?
I shouldn't be reading your personal letters, Alois.
Don't worry. Look who it's addressed to.
Yes, I see you here, and to the person who selected my gift?
That's my daughter for you. Perceptive. She can see right through my little schemes.
Huh.
It wouldn't take a genius to figure it out after being sent dirty coins for so many years. Anyway, I guess that means I can carry on reading. Oh, that's a special girl.
Oh, come on.
Your daughter really cares about you.
She does, doesn't she? That reminds me of when she was younger. She always used to...
I'm gonna cut you off, Alois. I don't have time for a story right now.
Very well, another time. But I would still like to show my appreciation. A knight never takes kindness for granted. What can I do for you?
Oh, there's a mountain of things I want, but nothing I can ask you to do. Reading your daughter's heartwarming letter was more than enough. I didn't help you out so I could have a knight owe me a favor. I just wanted to help a friend.
In that case, I hope my words of gratitude will suffice as repayment. I am truly thankful for your help this time, and the next.
I'm sorry, what do you mean, the next?
Well, my wife's birthday is coming up. So, of course, I'm going to need all the help I can get from my gift selection advisor.
Don't push your luck, pal. Alois, I'll never understand how someone like you can find love, yet I'm still alone.
I think that's an easy one to answer, to be honest. Also, why is Manuela so mean to him? Jeez. Alois is such a nice guy. Ooh, this could be interesting.
I have told you already, I am quite all right.
You say that, but...
I do not care what you have to say. I could not bear to stand here and do nothing.
Flayn?
Hey there, Flayn. Looks like Sedith is as overprotective as ever.
Eavesdropping, were you? Well, you are spot on. I do wish you would leave me be and learn to trust me.
Listen, Flayn. Before I take a stab at your true identity, there's something I want to ask.
And what is that?
Sedith is your father, isn't he?
Pardon me?
I've been thinking about this for a while, and my latest theory doesn't make sense otherwise. That overprotective attitude of his, it seems like more than just sibling concern. More like a father protecting his only daughter.
How can you be so sure? Hilda's brother and Raphael are quite similar, are they not?
They're both pretty clingy, sure, but even they are willing to let their sisters live their own lives. Whereas Sedith, there's something more at play there, an entirely different dynamic.
I imagine that is because
Even taking into account your special blood and the people targeting you because of it, I feel like Sedith has devoted his whole being to you, like only a father would.
Have you confronted my brother with your theory?
As if he'd tell me anything, even if I did. Though maybe if I tried to trick a reaction out of him. I could try calling out, "Daddy!" from behind him when he least expects it. Nah, he'd probably kill me if I tried that. Good idea.
That sounds most entertaining. I would love to see you give it a try. Perhaps you could request a...
Father, please grant me your daughter's hand in marriage.
I can feel my face turning red.
Hey now, don't joke about that. That's something that should be done properly when the right time comes.
Do you mean to say that the right time will come eventually then?
Well, you never know what the future holds. But forget that for now. I want to talk about...
As though this were something easily shelved. This topic holds far more appeal than that of identities, if you ask me.
Well, but do you expect him to propose marriage to someone who won't even, like, say who she really is? Come on. Also, would you, someone whose lifespan is, like, incredibly long, want to get married to somebody like Claude? Like, that, I don't know. Doesn't make much sense to me, but then again, you are very old.
I must admit that Sylvain is quite handsome. The age difference bothers me a bit, but I'm sure it would be fine after a few years. At first, it was hard to imagine myself with him, but now that I've thought about it, maybe... Speak of the devil. I think that's him over there.
What a jerk. He was playing around with me that whole time.
You know, you're a good catch. It's a shame that you've had no luck with men. You need a guy like me. Somebody who sees your beauty and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
What? No way. What are you saying? Can't even tell if you're being honest.
Wait, isn't that the exact same thing that he said to Manuela? Like, literally both lines, I'm pretty sure.
Do I look dishonest? Are these the eyes of a guy who's just playing around?
No, I suppose not. Would you like to go somewhere a little more quiet?
As long as it's just the two of us, and the only subject is love, I'll follow you anywhere.
Okay, that was just repulsive. He is insincerity personified. No way I'd ever fall for that. He is handsome and does come from good stock. But no, I can't imagine we'd have a bright future together. I suppose the goddess does not give with both hands, does she? Wait, could that mean because of my that I'll never find true love? Please, goddess, I'm begging you.
Oh man, or she took it. She turned it at the last second to be like, oh, just I'll never find true love, as opposed to like that I like, you know, don't have like a good personality either. But man, she basically dunked on herself. Oh, another Manuela support. My gosh.
Hey, Hilda, can I ask you something?
Hey, Caspar. Sure, go ahead.
Well, you know that thing you do where you flirt with guys and get them to do stuff for you? Why don't you ever do that with me?
Oh, you want me to take advantage of you, eh? I'm happy to oblige. You're surprisingly sharp.
You know, I just... Wait, surprisingly? What's that supposed to mean?
I didn't think there was much point in taking advantage of you. You're not one to do favors. So I just never bothered. It seems like less trouble to do things myself.
You really think I'm so heartless that I wouldn't be willing to help you out?
That's not what she's saying.
I'd be happy to help, depending on what it is you need.
That's not my style, though. I don't ask people to do favors for me. I prefer for them to notice what I want and offer to do it themselves. You're not attentive enough to notice. But you do notice that I'm working my charms on others. How bizarre.
I guess that makes sense. Sorry I've been so oblivious to your needs. But why can't you just ask?
Well, when I ask someone for help, it's awkward for them to say no. So they go along with it even if they don't want to. But when they offer to help, everyone feels better about themselves.
Sure, but if your plan is to guilt someone into offering their help, isn't that the same, or worse?
Oh, my dear Caspar. Guilt isn't why they offer. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to feel like I'm constraining you. I like your carefree lifestyle.
I'm not sure I follow, but I like the way you live too. Not being tied down by anything or anyone sounds like a pretty easy life. I get that. If there's anything you really need help with, though, don't be afraid to ask me. Sometimes you can't afford to wait around for someone else to notice.
That's true.
Sweet, Caspar. Thanks. Well, since you're offering, why don't you come to my room?
What?
I thought of something you can do for me.
What?
Room? Are you redecorating? Or moving out?
You're really oblivious, huh?
Oh my god!
Caspar.
I don't follow.
I could use some help carrying luggage.
Is that it? That's no problem at all.
Uh-huh. Wow. Okay. That was interesting.
You keep doing things that aren't called for. It's driving me batty.
You presuppose I am only thinking of you.
Let's just not do this, shall we? I don't know why we always end up fighting.
It can hardly be helped. You and I seem opposed to one another on a, let's call it an instinctual level. Perhaps this could even be considered a form of fate.
What an awkward fate to have. I'd like you a lot more if I just hated you. All this fighting and making up is just exhausting.
Agreed, yes. It does feel as if we have fallen into a rather tiresome bit of repetition.
This line is amazing. I'd like you a lot more if I just hated you.
What a waste of effort. We're absolutely hopeless, the both of us. Here's a thought. Couples who are similar to one another, share the same views and all that, they're pretty successful. But complete opposites work together too. Surprisingly well sometimes. They compensate for each other's weaknesses, and they support one another. Then I look at how hard we work just to avoid screaming at each other, and I don't buy it.
Don't be so hasty to dismiss your own hypothesis. For instance, I am apt at cleaning. but have no talent for cookery, whilst you loathe cleaning, but are a splendid chef. Would it not be an easier life if, rather than struggle through our weaker areas, we divided the work?
Huh. I suppose our differences do have their advantages that way.
Indeed. If we combine our abilities, housework would be conquered and dinner rendered
delicious.
There are other ways we could find to support one another.
It's a great turn of
imagine.
phrase.
We might make a better pair than you think. You and I, together.
Huh. You might be onto something. You and I could be pretty good together. Wait. Why are we talking about this? Are you trying to propose marriage with promises of clean floors? You think I'm that easy of a catch? Honestly.
I did no such thing. You were the one who started discussion on the topic in the first place. You would agree.
Oh my god.
I never said a word about
It's like, they're like, if they were to get married, they'd be like the couple that is an old married couple as soon as they get married. Just immediately bickering with each other. Gah, it's all with Manuela.
So, Felix, is the tea to your liking?
It is.
It's nice to relax like this every now and then, isn't it?
No, I hate relaxing.
You said some of your equipment is damaged, didn't you?
It is.
Oh my god.
Are you not in the mood to talk? We could discuss your family or what's happening in high society. Flavors of tea? Your favorite jokes?
None of those. I already told you, I don't joke.
Of course, only cynicism. Oh, I know. We're holding a small opera in the cathedral soon. I'll be singing too. If you're interested in... but of course you aren't.
You can sing?
What?
I'm sorry. What did you just say? Can I sing? I was only a diva of the Middle Front Opera Company, that's all.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Oh my god.
You forgot. Am I that uninteresting to you? What must you think of me?
You're insincere and loud, is what I think. But you do make a good sparring partner. And a good tea companion.
Oh.
Anyway, when's the concert?
It's an opera, and you don't have to come.
You just invited me. You can't tell me not to come. That's for me to
The
decide.
accidental reverse psychology.
You must be there. I'll sing my heart out just for you.
I haven't said I'll go.
Oh, see, Dorothy, you gotta stick with the reverse psychology.
If you keep teasing me, I might just pretend to cry.
Fine, I'll go.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
Alright, throughout this entire support chain, which admittedly most of which I watched in Crimson Flowers, it's been a while, but I have yet to figure out why Dorothy even tries with him and isn't just like, forget you. Which I think is what she probably should do.
Good morning, Hilda. Is anything troubling you today?
Nope, nothing. If there was, I don't think I'd ask for your help.
Ooh,
Sorry to
burn.
hear that. Have I done something to upset you?
Not exactly. You go overboard helping me is all. You do way, way too much. So I feel guilty, like I'm putting you out.
Goodness, it was never my intention to have you worry about me.
Can I ask you something?
Of course, what is it?
What are you doing today?
Same thing we do every day, Pinky.
Following my morning prayers, I'll be cleaning the altar, then caring for the flowers in the greenhouse. Then it's off to the library to help organize and sort, then to the dining hall to wipe down the tables and chairs. The floors could use a good polish too. Oh, and the weather's so nice that I might air out the bedding. After that, it's...
Wow, you're still not done? There's more?
Well, the dishcloths in the dining hall are all frayed, so I was hoping to mend them.
Sewing? Don't you think that's too much?
Whatever do you mean? And why are you speaking so loudly all of a sudden?
I'll help with the dining hall, but I am not sewing.
You want to help? That would be delightful.
Everyone asks you for help, and you always say yes, don't you?
I suppose. I believe it's important to help where you can. If you see someone in trouble, you can't leave them, can you?
You're too kind, Mercedes. Literally, I can't empathize.
I'm sure you can. You and I are very similar in that way.
Are you serious? How? We have nothing in common.
That may be so, but you thought I was in trouble, and you agreed to help, didn't you?
Well, I mean, yes.
That's exactly what I do. I'm so happy to have found a kindred spirit.
If that's what makes you happy, okay. Kindred spirits. Let's go with that.
Now that I've got you at my side,
Oh no!
take on even more responsibilities.
Not a chance.
Yeah, I guess Hilda does eventually feel bad for people, so I guess that's what was going on there. Anyway, alright, I still got a couple more, but it's already been 40 minutes, so I am going to call it here, and then be back for... next episode will be exploring the monastery. So, until then...